What is going on, YouTube? What's going on? It is Rocky in real time, and I am back for another live stream. I know I've been on quite a hiatus. But first, put a 1 in the chat if you can hear me. I want to make sure my sound is good. I want to make sure this mic I'm using is good. So put a 1 in the chat if you can hear me. Is it good? Is it clear? Does it sound like quality audio? Because I'm using a Rode mic. I'm not using my Shure mic right now. Sound is good. Sound is good. Okay. Okay. Shout out to 𝐴, BA, Tree, and everyone that joined early to come and get this game. Family man, 𝐴, he's putting the kids to bed. What's going on, Joel? What's going on, Surat? What's going on, everybody? I hope you guys are doing good. It's been a minute since I've done a live stream. Trust me, I have been really busy. I just got married, so let's put it together, or let me say, what do we say? Let me get applause. Let me get that sound effect. Yeah, it was actually pretty interesting. I had about 60 guests in town here in Salvador, so I had to make sure everything was good. I had to make sure people got what they needed. So it was fun. It was fun. We had yacht parties. We had restaurants and tours, and I showed them around Bahia, and it was a lot of things that they got to enjoy. So I want to see if I can even share some pictures from that. Let me share my screen really quick. Let me see if I can pull up a pic. We still got to get some of the pics back from the photographer, but I'll show you guys 1 or 2 pics. There's one right there. Your boy had on a nice little tux with a silk lapel. That was like 3 weeks ago. So as you notice, I probably, wasn't responding to comments. I had to get a personal assistant to handle some of the router setups, and I was pretty busy. Like I said, I had 60 guests in town, and none of them spoke a lick of Portuguese. So there was a lot of logistics involved. See if I got another pic here. See if I got another pic. Let me see if I got another pic. Do I have another one? Yeah, we still haven't gotten our pics back from the photographer. But, that's the wedding. It was April 4th. A week-long festivities. So, yeah, that was that. So that's why I have been on my hiatus. But let me get back to the actual, subject matter for tonight's live. And if you guys don't know me, or maybe it's your first time encountering me, because I've grown by like 500 subs since like my last live, but I am Rocky. I am an expat that lives in Brazil. I'm working from here at times. I've been working for 2 jobs. I'm a software engineer, and I've been working remote for going on 7 years now. Probably 8 right now. 2016, let's do that math. That's 8, right? If I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I've been working remote for a long time, long before it became very mainstream. So I've developed a lot of strategies and a lot of things that have helped me sort of secure remote jobs along the way. Once I kind of fell into it by accident. I just applied for a job, and they were basically remote-ish. They were hybrid, what they call it. They hybrid. And then they went full remote after a while because they had problems securing office space. And yeah, it actually worked out pretty well, because during COVID, their lease was up for their new office. So they just they're still remote, even though I left prior to COVID and got another remote job, right? So yeah, I have a lot of things to share with you guys, and it's going to be a great live. I don't want to spend like 4 hours like the last live. It's probably going to be about an hour or two. I'll kick it with you guys for a little bit, maybe have some, a question session. But I really, really, really want to get into what I have planned for you guys. I worked quite a few days to put this live stream together. So I'll just let a couple more people get in before I start. Yeah, hit the Cash App, by the way, like I've mentioned before. I'm gonna put that banner up there. Let me hide this other one. These lives and this content that I put together for you guys, it takes a lot. I have thousands of dollars worth of equipment. I'm sure you can see some of the screens behind me. I'm using a high quality camera. I'm doing a lot just to, put this content and share this game with you guys. So if you could spare some, that would be awesome. That would be very, very awesome. Yes, yes. Ozzy said he is ready to learn. Yes, and I'm ready to give that game. Marco Santos said, spill the sauce, homie. I am going to spill a lot of sauce. So get a drink, a sandwich, and, a comfortable chair and get ready for what I have in store for you. Okay, we've got about 14, 15 people in here right now. Surat says, cool pictures. Thanks. I didn't get all my pictures back from the wedding. The photographer said there's like 5,000 pictures, so I'll share some more. Yeah, BA said, I was already married. I was legally married, but this was just the ceremony, So that was that. So let me see. Let me hide this. All right, so let me just get into it. Let me go to my branding really quick. So I've organized this live stream into a few components, right? There's a few things that I want to go over. I want to go over some tools that I use. One that I found that's really, really neat, really awesome. I want to go over search strings. I want to go over why you should use recruiters. Niching down is important. I'm going to talk about ATS software and leveraging and building your network, the types of jobs you can apply for and applying outside the country, and some new fields that are emerging now in the 2020s, right? Because of AI and because of, just other industries that are emerging. So I'm going to talk a lot about those things. So without further ado, first thing I'm going to talk about is HireFlow and ChatGPT prompts. Now, HireFlow.net is a website powered by AI, and that allows you to upload your resume and see how well it would perform and assess and its ATS readability using a resume checker. Now, if you don't know, ATS is an acronym and it stands for Applicant Tracking Software. It's basically a fancy term for a software that kind of filters resumes based on criteria and, certain keywords, buzzwords, certain attributes. There's hundreds of ATS software. It's probably about 200 plus out there. There's some popular ones that recruiters use, but no two softwares are exactly the same. So it's hard to account for all of them, but they all work in very similar ways, right? So you have to have certain keywords, certain attributes, and certain things highlighted on your resume. And right now in 2024, this whole job market and this scarcity that there's been, it's been a little bit better in the past couple of months, but the scarcity has made the job market a little bit challenging. So any tool that you can use to sort of better your chances or just work more efficient and faster is a good tool to use, or it's going to benefit you a lot. So let me actually show you how HireFlow works. And then I'm going to get into some cool ChatGPT prompts that you can use to help you when actually applying for some of these jobs and to further tailor your resume to the applications that you are sending out. So let me just share my screen really quick. Let me present my screen. All right, let me share that. And I'm going to go to higherflow.net. So, all right, there we go. Hope you guys can see that. Let me just, so this is higherflow.net. It's a cool site. Like I said, it allows you to just upload your resume. And from there, you can basically get suggestions on what to put, what to add. It gives you an overall assessment score. And let me just stop rambling and show you guys. Can I drag and drop that? No, I gotta click this. Let me go to my desktop. All right, so I got my resume there. And you upload your resume, click Analyze My Resume, give it a quick little second, and it'll just analyze your resume and give you an assessment score. So any day now. It's taking a second. Usually it didn't take this long. I don't know what's going on. See if we got any more comments. I hope you guys are good on this Friday night, though. Put a 2 in the chat if you're good. You're having a good week. Put a 2 in the chat while we wait for this higherflow.net. I think because I've got all this streaming going on and a bunch of other stuff's taking a little bit of time. But we'll wait for it for a second. Oh, they've got like a dark mode. I didn't know that. They got dark mode up in the corner. I really want to show you guys. Okay, finally. So yeah, as you guys can see, right? I uploaded my resume, and like I said, it doesn't really take this long to load. I think because I have I'm streaming in HD, got the camera, got this, I'm streaming. So it takes a while, but it gives me an assessment score. And, this is my ATS readability assessment score. So it gives me like a 70% or ATS readability assessment. I get a 70% score rating. And that basically tells me that, so I guess 70% of my resume is readable by an ATS. Now there's certain sections and things like that might not be readable, maybe certain words. And with the ATS and beating the ATS, you have to use, and I'll get into this a little bit later, but I just wanted to show you this tool. You got to use standard words like, for like a skill section, you use the word skills. Don't use what I can do, right? Skills. You want to keep things simple, concise, and, traditional in a way that the ATS software is going to be able to pick up. Right. And I also get a performance score. Right. And then I also get critical missing elements. Right. And it tells me a concise summary or objective statement is missing, specific project details with quantifiable achievements, a clear presentation of skills and technologies. Let me just make this a little bit bigger so you guys can read it. All right. So then it suggests improvement. So include a concise summary or objective statement at the beginning of the resume to provide a quick overview of your expertise and career goals. Add specific project details along with measurable achievements to showcase your impact and capabilities. Format the content for better readability by organizing it into bullet points and using consistent formatting for dates, job titles, and company names. So it gives you a lot of things that you can use to improve your chances of even getting through the ATS software, because a lot of times that is your first barrier to entry. It's either going to be a recruiter or an ATS software. So you got to figure out or do everything you can to beat these ATS softwares, right? It also has a cover letter generator, because there's some jobs out there, and I know you hate this. You probably hate this if you're watching this. I don't like it. They make you write cover letters, and if you're applying to like 10, 15, 20, 30 jobs a day. Some people are applying for 50 jobs a day, and you've got to write a cover letter for like 10 or 15 of them. That's going to take time, right? So I'm going to show you this cover letter generator. And much like the resume checker, you browse, you drop the file there, and then you got to give it a job title. And then let me just go and see if I can get some job details really quick. Give me 2 seconds, because I didn't have this actually. Forgot about this section. The job details, basically, you have to type your responsibilities and everything. So I'm just going to get like a random backend software engineer application. Let me just get one really quick. Give me 2 seconds, 2 seconds. All right, let me see. All right, now it's generating. So I just got a random job description out there. And basically, you put the job description there, the job title, and you add your resume. And it uses those 3 things to create a cover letter for you. So you're going to see the cover letter that it's going to write. And I just literally got this job title or description, as you can see, has a bunch of bullet points of technologies and skills and qualities and soft skills that they want. So you see, it's like 1,300 applicants on one opening, right? So you have like, what is it? Is that 1347? 1347. What percentage of that? That's like almost like a 0.7%, right? So you want to increase your chances as much as you can. You have a 0.7%. You're going against a bunch of people. So we'll give it some time. Like I said, I'm streaming, so maybe that's got my Ethernet connected though, so should be going faster than this. Usually it goes a little bit faster than this, but like I said, it's the streaming is going on, and here we go. So says, I'm excited to apply for the backend software engineer position at your esteemed company, blah, blah, blah. My expertise in Java, Spring MVC, this, and that. So you just basically have a cover letter that's sort of catered to the job. And I use tools like, I'm going to show you one, actually. I have this tool. It's paid. I think it's like $50 a year. You don't have to get it. You can use ChatGPT. But a lot of these ATS softwares, they're starting to incorporate features like to detect AI written content, right? Google has done this as well, where they basically are banning or they're just ranking lower in search results AI written content. So to safeguard against that, there's a site that I use called Quillbot. And Quillbot is basically a paraphraser tool. So I can just take this text right here, right? Copy. There isn't supposed to be that. Paste that text. And then I can add as many synonyms or as few synonyms as I want. It gives you like a sort of bar gauge that you can adjust to sort, and you can go and add or change the synonym. So I'm gonna show you really quick. I'm just gonna have a little bit less than, let me actually remove this because it's not supposed to be there. Paraphrase that. So yeah, you have your cover letter. So, they change a few things. You can actually add more synonyms, or you can take some away. And this is not AI written content. It's just using the words that you have and replacing them with other synonyms and whatnot and other phrases. So it's not AI. So you can take what's written by AI and then you can paraphrase it. And like you just see, I did that in like 2 minutes, right? Would have been quicker. Like I said, I'm using a lot of bandwidth right now with the streaming thing. So it would have been a lot quicker than that. And this can help you sort of pump out quality applications and quality cover letters, quicker than actually sitting and writing them, and helps you beat the AI or the feature that detects AI written content. So Quillbot, I think it's like $50 a year, so like $3, $4 a month. I use it for other stuff as well. Like if I need to write something, I use ChatGPT. I might use Copywriter or some other AI tool, and then I put it in here, and then I get paraphrased. And then I also might add my own little writing bits in it because I still want it to sound a little authentic. It just helps me write things a lot quicker. So yeah, definitely check out hireflow.net. It's a free tool. So just add that to your arsenal because you need the tools to go against the competition today, because there's a lot of competition and it's fierce. Because like I just showed you that application, a random application, that's 1,300 people, and that job's only been up for a couple of weeks. So yeah, that is using HireFlow in ChatGPT and or HireFlow in Quillbot. Now there are some prompts. There are some prompts that I use. So I'm going to bring up those prompts for you really, really quick. Give me 1 second. I'm going to open them really quick. There are prompts that can help you, and I use these prompts too. So I just want to bring it up off screen. Give me 1 second. All right, here we go. Here are the prompts that I use. I got 5 prompts for you guys, right? And you can use these to improve your resume, and also improve cover letters, and just sort of just give yourself more of a sort of using your own resume, of course, a in-depth and matching sort of explanation of your skill set against the relevant job that you're applying for, against the job that you're applying for. So first prompt, I'm gonna just make this a little bit bigger and make that a little bit bigger. Can you make changes to my resume to fit job title? You insert the job title, role you fit the company, you put the company there, and here's the job description and the resume, right? Second prompt, make that bigger. Actually, let me just make everything, what font size is this? It's 48. All right, so the second prompt is what are the main responsibilities for this job? So you give it the job post, right? Please list the top 3 responsibilities related to this role as according to this description. Now, this prompt is more or less designed to help you extract what the main things the employer or the recruiter, whoever posted a job, is looking for. Because in a role, there might be certain skills or attributes that they're prioritizing that they want to see from their candidates. So, you want to make sure that you're pinpointing and you're speaking to those skills that they're looking for. So you want to make sure you actually are speaking into the employer's ear, because they're hearing what they want to hear. They want this skill, they want that skill, and those are the only 2 things that they're really looking for. Or they may be looking for, SEO, which is search engine optimization, or digital marketing, or SQL or something, or Python. So make sure you understand what the employer is looking for, and you can use this prompt to extract that from the job description, because they might mention it a few times, but these job descriptions are like hundreds of words long. So you might be looking at a description that's 500 words, right? And you're not going to go and count the frequency of what has been mentioned, but ChatGPT can do that for you and prioritize that in order. So the next prompt is, please write these bullet points on my resume using clear and impactful language while highlighting my accomplishments. So again, this is just taking your resume, your own resume, and using the bullet points that you've written and making the language more clear and impactful. And emphasis on that word impactful, because you want to show how you've made an impact, right? When recruiters are looking at your resume, they want to see what you've done. And an example is oh, I helped build X, Y, and Z feature that increased revenue by 10% over 2 quarters. That's an impact. You helped build a feature, or you helped lead a team that built this feature for this product, this product-based app or whatever. And when the feature was built over 2 quarters, you helped the company get 15% more revenue. That is a direct impact. You need to have bullet points on your resume that speak in that language, impactful language. Like, what did you do? What did you accomplish while you were at that job? And what was the impact of your tenure, your 1 year, 2 year, 3, 4 years, however long you stayed there? What was your impact? So you want to use impactful language. Percentages, profits, those are things that they worry about. Percentage increases, user increases, engagement increases, those type of things. They worry about those type of metrics. And you do that while highlighting your accomplishments. Maybe you've gotten a promotion there. Show how, like, this type of prompt can show how you also accomplished maybe getting promoted from L2 to L3 in that same quarter because of the profits you're able to help gain for the company, right? Next one. Can you describe my blank skills? So whatever skills, it could be your copywriting skills, sales, programming, whatever, just insert that there. Can you describe my blank skills, experience from my resume? Describe my blank specific skill, experience in conversational, concise, and clear language as if you were me. And you want to also give ChatGPT a writing sample of at least 500 to 1,000 words. It can be anything you've written before, just so they can understand your tone and your writing style, so that it can mimic that. So it has something to go off of. So you want to sound, because you guys have noticed, right? I'm sure you guys have seen AI written language, and I don't like to see AI written stuff, AI written content, and neither do employers. So when you submit that, and like I said, a lot of this ATS software can now detect AI written content, and they're just going to bounce your resume. So you have to make it sound as human-like as possible and as close to you as possible. So give it a writing sample. Tell it to describe the specific skill, and it could be a skill from this prompt here. What are the main responsibilities related to this job? Or it could be something from here. Please write these bullet points on my resume using clear, impactful, language, highlighting my accomplishments. It could be, you can combine these prompts to sort of cater your application to a specific job. That's what I'm saying. And the last one is an interesting one. Now, Dale Carnegie has a famous book called How to Win Friends and Influence People. You should definitely read it and check it out. If you're watching this on a replay, I'll include it in the link in the description. But use the principles from the book, How to Win Friends and Influence People, to convey that I have all the necessary skills and qualities to be a high performer at this job and work cohesively with a team. So it's not just your hard skills. You want your soft skills to be reflected in your resume as well. And there's a lot of principles and things that Dale Carnegie sort of talks about in his book that are necessary to have on a team, right? If I'm an employer, I don't want someone that just has the hard skills or the technical skills, but I want them to be able to communicate. I want them to be able to know how to work with other people. I want them to have discernment. I want them to be, have good judgment. So there's other skills that are necessary and vital for a worker to have that you should also highlight on your resume. And using these 5 prompts, you can convey a lot of that. You can express a lot of that, using your own existing resume. Another thing I like to do is use Fiverr to get someone to help me write and enhance my resume, which you could do. That is going to cost you money, yes, but it takes money to make money. But these are free things you can do. Like you can use ChatGPT and you can use hireflow.net. Those are both free. ChatGPT does have the paid tier, but you can use the free version. I think the free is like 3.5. It's on like version 3.5 or so. And the paid is 4.0. But yeah, that is HireFlow and ChatGPT, right? So you want to make sure you use these tools and are able to incorporate them into your job search. So the next thing I'm going to talk about is something really, really cool. It's called search strings or Boolean search strings, right? And I'm going to show you how they work right now, right? First, I just want to talk about them first. So let me just talk about Boolean search strings really quick. So what are Boolean search strings? So search strings, right? In the context of like search engines like Google or job boards like LinkedIn, they're queries, right? They're queries composed of keywords and possibly special characters. Sometimes you got to throw a little, like some special characters in there. And I'll show you an example of this in a second and how cool they just actually are. And they're characters and operators that help you refine your search results. And these strings are crafted to filter and retrieve the most relevant things based on the specific criteria that you give it. So I'm going to show you some examples, and examples include I'm going to show you some examples, but I want to talk about them first. But you can have keywords like project management certifications. That can be a keyword, or software developer jobs. That's a keyword. And you can use Boolean operators like and, or, like logical operators, and, or, not. You can put things in quotation mark, parentheses, and there's a bunch of things you can do, right? So let me just show you a Boolean search string so you can get an idea of what I'm talking about. Gonna go in and I'm actually gonna put this text in the search engine. I'm gonna put this in Google so you can see. Hope you guys can still see my screen. All right, so this is a search string. I'm gonna make it a little bigger so that you guys can see it. All right, there we go. So I know it looks like a bunch of gibberish, right? Looks like a bunch of gibberish. But basically what this is, and I'm going to tell you what this does. You can have a word, there's certain words and there's certain terms that are reserved terms. So if you use those terms, it is telling the search engine to look in a certain way, right? So this is a little technical because I'm a software engineer, but I want you to kind of just get a clear picture of what I'm saying. I'm not going to go into anything too technical, but I just want it to make sense. So any site, whether it be eBay, whether it be Amazon, whether it be LinkedIn, Google itself, they're all built on search engines. They use technologies like one of the most famous ones is called Elasticsearch. There's other searching technologies that are used to sort of scan index data and retrieve things. But instead of like searching something in human readable form, you can use, like I said, keywords, Boolean operators, parentheses, quotation marks, and reserved words. Now, you can go on YouTube and search this. I'm not going to go too in depth into this because that's outside the scope of this live stream. But you can go search Google dorking, and I'm going to write it here on the screen. You can search Google dorking, or you can search Boolean search strings for jobs. Go search those on YouTube. Go down that rabbit hole. I can't, because of time, go down that rabbit hole tonight, but just go search that. But I want to show you the power of this search string. I just want to show you the sheer power of this, right? So I'm going to take this site. What does that mean? That means search this site, 𝐉𝐴.co, right? And you saw the other stuff on the screen. There's a bunch. These are like job boards: Greenhouse, 𝐉𝐴, Ashby, Smart Recruiters, Workable, eSIMS. I've never really used that, but JobVite, Talio, Workday. Now I can copy Workday, right? And I could just put site Workday, and it'll search Workday Workday sites, Workday job boards across the internet, right? So I just paste that, and it'll be Workday. And these, like, so a lot of recruiters, I mean, a lot of companies, right? They don't actually build out their jobs page. They use one of these sites like 𝐉𝐴.co, like Greenhouse, like Workday, because they have all the functionalities already for a jobs page. So when you click like jobs, it just takes you to that board that they're using, not an actual page on the company's site that is, you know, not an actual page that was built by the company. They're just using some like third-party software, right, to post jobs. And a lot of times these jobs that they post on their site are not posted anywhere else, like LinkedIn, Dice, Indeed, and all these other job boards, Otto, and all these other job boards. So I'm going to show you, don't want to ramble too much, but I just want to show you this, right? So let me copy this, and let me bring up my web browser. Let me show you. Boom. Let me just make this a bit bigger so you guys can see. Let me expand that. Now you see all the search results. I'm sure you guys can see. Put a 1 in the chat if you can see all this and it's legible and it's clear. I want to make sure that the font isn't too small. Put a 1 in the chat if you can see, or should I just make this a little bit bigger? Okay. All right. I guess you guys can see. All right. Cool. Let me just make it a little bit bigger anyway so you can see. So yeah, as you can see, I put that search string, and the search string was to search that site 𝐉𝐴.co for engineering or software engineering. So these are the keywords I'm talking about. You can encase them in quotation marks, or software engineering or technology, because a lot of times the departments will be like engineering department or technology department. And I'm just talking about engineering because that's my domain. That's what I know. But this could very easily be digital marketing, SEO, sales. It could be product management, product, development, whatever field. This is just the one I'm most conversant with, but you can insert whatever field you work in there, right? Or product, because sometimes engineers work on the product or the product team. So, and then I have in parentheses 100% remote, and it gives me all of the companies that posted on 𝐉𝐴.co. And look at that, Speedify, got Code Lit. like companies you've never heard of, companies that haven't posted on any job boards anywhere. This is not like a job board. This is like a third-party website that helps you create your own jobs page instead of you building out a jobs page with all these features that these jobs page usually have. So instead of having your own custom thing, it just helps companies just like, you know, companies and recruiters just, you know, just post their jobs. So that's why it's useful. So yeah, you see all of this, like, and there's a bunch of results that go down for a long time. You know, all of them lever, some of them are sponsored. Don't worry about that. But you can see lever, 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 lever. It just goes down. It just keeps going, just keeps going. It keeps going. It keeps going. It keeps going. It is going. More results. Keeps going. It keeps going. So I have tailored results. I can also put, you know, other things. If you want to work in California, if you want to work, I don't know, maybe hybrid, you can put and hybrid, right? Again, I'm not going to teach you these search strings. I'm just making you aware of the power that they hold, right? I don't want to make this like another 4-hour stream. So I already told you what to search: Google dorking or Boolean search strings. Go search that on YouTube. Go on that rabbit hole yourself. Not to sound like cocky or anything like that, but just like I can't just. The 4-hour streams is just hard to edit. I want to chop this up a little bit. So I can't do the 4-hour thing anymore. But as you can see, there's a fully remote role on the product team. You see, I included that word product, full-time. You can also put full-time. This is an engineering lead. And you can also put certain skills or technologies that you can really, really refine this. This is a very simple search string. I didn't really Google foo. Let me put that up there. Let me put that up there. That's funny. Google foo. Yes, this is like Google Kung Fu. And yeah, you can even something like this, the 21 days of holidays, you can put that in a search string. You can really, really, really get granular with these search strings. This is like, you know, search on steroids, basically. So yeah, you can see engineering. I put that word engineering. You see that it's there. I put remote. I put 100% remote. So it's really giving me fine-tuned results, right? It's giving me fine-tuned results. I can even put the technologies and the skills that they're looking for. You can use the skills on your resume to search for jobs, remote jobs that are tailored to the skills that you have. And you saw the results. I couldn't scroll through all of them. There's a bunch of them. It just kept going and going and going. So, and then this is really cool. You can go to something like Google Alerts, and you can set up an alert for that search string, right? So now you can, I'm not going to create this because I don't need to receive these alerts. I'm just making you aware of what you can do, right? So you can use the search string again, like you can get really granular with this. This is a very basic search string, right? I could have added the sick days or the technologies or the skills that they're looking for. You can really get really specific and cater it to what you're really looking for. And then you can create alert. So whenever the moment someone posts, like an employer or recruiter post a job that matches that specific criteria that you're looking for, you'll get an alert in your email immediately. You can set up a bunch of alerts. You can set up one, but combining the search strings with the alerts, powerful, 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 because you're using these job boards, right? That a lot of employers use, and they don't post these jobs anywhere else, right? I'm sure if I looked up a lot of these jobs, like in Speedify or whatever, like they're not on LinkedIn, right? A lot of employers don't post on LinkedIn because they don't want the overwhelming amount of applicants, and they want applicants that are really interested in their company or in their ethos and whatever they're doing. So they want to keep it really, really, really not exclusive, but away from the masses, I guess. But yeah, just using these search strings or Google Dorks or whatever you call it, this really granular way of searching, combining it with the alerts, another way to just instantly just be getting alerts for the type of jobs that you want. So this is very important, very, very important, right? So that's search strings and alerts. What else? What else are we going to talk to? What are we going to talk about? And talk about recruiters and working with recruiters. I want to show you guys a tweet, and I literally found this tweet today. Let me close this. Let me close that. I found this tweet today. I found it like as do I still have it? Yeah, I do. Here it is. So I was just on Twitter scrolling, and I was like, I'm talking about basically what this guy sort of is speaking to in his tweet. Let me just try and expand it so you guys can see, but I'll also read it. Guess I can't really expand it much, but here's what he says, right? He says, job market largely has no bearing on your ability. This is true. It's a numbers game. Applied to a consulting company in March and got rejected. Applied through an agency with the same CV and cover letter, and I have an interview scheduled. And there are some comments that go on to say, it's not what you know, it's who you know. No truer words. This guy is speaking to something that is crazy that I literally found this tweet like 2 hours ago. And I was like, let me include that in there, right? Because you have to work closely with recruiters, right? Working with recruiters can significantly enhance your chances of securing a remote job. Significantly. Because you're leveraging their expertise and you're leveraging their extensive networks, right? A lot of these recruiters, they oftentimes have access to jobs that have not even been publicly posted yet or advertised and will never be, right? And that provides you with opportunities that you might not find on your own, or you never find on your own, because if not publicly posted, it's like, how are you going to find it? And they also understand the specific needs of these companies, the culture, how they recruit, how they interview. So you have a friend that works with you in these recruiters. And the recruiters are incentivized to help place you because the recruiters get like bonuses and, other, things, other incentives for every person that they place. Maybe quarterly bonuses or maybe $1,000 or something like that for each person they place. Whatever. There is incentive for the recruiter to work with you. So help scratch their back, they'll scratch yours. A lot of these recruiters, and there's some questions that you should ask recruiters, because not all recruiters are good. Some of them suck. Some of them are really, really amazing. When you find an amazing one, like there's recruiters that I've met like 3 years ago, 4 years ago, that I still just like keep them, I hang on to them. They might text me a few times a year, not I'm employed, I'm not really looking for anything, but they keep in touch. I say hi or, things like that, right? I send an email every once in a while. Some of them I'm actually really good friends with. Like I've met them, outside of like trying to look for a job, like at a tech conference or something, like, which I'll talk about a little bit later, right? So a lot of these recruiters have worked with these companies for 3 years, 4 years, 5 years. They've placed 10, 20, 30 people there. Now ask yourself, let's say you're an employer. Let's say you own your own company and you got 15 people that you hired using a recruiter. And they all range from decent to really good employees. Which one are you going to go to? You're going to go to the job market and post on LinkedIn, Indeed, or you're going to have this girl or this woman, Jessica or Andrew, the recruiter, who already got you 15 employees. 5 of them are really excellent. So shooting like 33% on excellent employees. Are you going to go out into the wild, or are you going to use Jessica or whatever his name is, right? They're going to use a recruiter because there's a certain level of trust. The recruiter knows what they're looking for. And as the recruiter iterates and learns about the company, they learn how to recruit better for the company. So got to work with recruiters. Also, recruiters can offer valuable assistance through the job application process, which is especially important because remote positions that have different expectations or like different requirements compared to the traditional roles, they're looking for different things. So you need someone that can help you finesse your way into that remote role. They can help you tailor your resume, highlight certain skills and experience, and as it pertains to that job, right? I know I was talking about HireFlow and using ChatGPT prompts, but a lot of times nothing beats a human. They've been working for the company for 5-6 years. Even something that might not have been mentioned in the application that they were given, right? They know, based on conversations they've had with hiring managers, with engineering leads and other things, what they're looking for. So a lot of times, because like I've been in engineering, I've seen people like they just put together I'm telling you, a lot of people just literally throw something together that they've copied and pasted online, maybe edited a little bit. A lot of people dread and hate writing job descriptions. It's just another thing to do, right? So a lot of times their actual needs are not reflected in the job description because, they're being lazy and they just want to put something out there and they just leaving everything up to the recruiter. So sometimes the recruiter just have information just through osmosis and working with these employers that they didn't mention in the job description. And the recruiter can tell you, hey, listen, you got to add this in your relevant work experience. Add self-motivator, add proficient in digital communication tools, add experience in managing projects independently, add those little things because this is what they need. This is what I talk to them about all the time. They can also help you prepare for the interviews. They can tell you, I've had recruiters tell me exactly what to study for an interview. I've had recruiters tell me exactly the questions that were going to be asked. Also, it's not just a technical thing or it's all about relationships. If you can establish relationships with recruiters and just be someone that's likable, because a lot of this is not how good you work, it's how good you work with other people. You could suck at or just be average or decent at best at your job, but you could just really have a lot of nice soft skills that make you a joy to work with. And a recruiter is your first gateway into an employer seeing those skills. So don't take working with them lightly. Don't take, don't ignore it. They can give you a lot of insight into how a company works and functions. So yeah, don't sleep on that. Definitely make sure you understand your recruiter, and the recruiter helps you understand the company and the role that you're applying for. So what's the next thing? Niching down. Let me stop to present. Let me stop. I just want to talk to you guys really quick because this is important. This is very important. You want to niche down as much as you possibly can, right? This is a very highly effective strategy for securing remote jobs because it allows you to specialize in a specific area. I'm sure you guys have heard that quote before. The riches are in the niches, right? And that just basically means listen, the more specific you are about the things you can do and the problems that you can solve and your skills and your passions and, your work abilities, the more tailored you can make your job search, right? Because quality beats quantity. If you can put out 50 or 60 quality applications, that's better than putting out 100 or 300 general applications. Also, by becoming an expert in a niche, you set yourself apart from a lot of other people. A lot of people that are generalists, and that's going to make your profile more attractive to an employer because they know that, hey, this guy is a specialist in this type of skill. And a lot of employers, even though they might mention 100 things on a job post, most employers are just looking for a unicorn, which they'll never find. And they're looking for maybe 3, maximum 4, or maybe 2 or even 1 skill that they really, really need someone on their team to have. So niching down and making yourself an expert in a particular skill or a particular thing is going to make you stand out, right? Don't be intimidated by all those employers that like put job descriptions online that have 1,000 things. Everybody wants a unicorn. It's just human nature. Even like with other things like dating or whatever, like you're going to say you want 1,000 things, but really you probably would be good with, 80% of that list. It's true. It's true for most things in life. Like people will say they want the most and, really they could be good with like half or even a little bit more than half of that. So this just gives you a more focused approach, which means you can target your job search more precisely. So imagine you are, niching down, and then because you've niched down, you can now use those search strings and those alerts, right? So you see where I'm getting these are strategies that can help you. So like the focus approach makes you target these jobs more precisely, applying for roles that specifically, speak and seek your unique skill set. They speak to your skill set and they're seeking for your skill set. So for instance, rather than just positioning yourself as a marketing professional, niching down and becoming an expert in digital marketing for e-commerce is going to set you apart, because now all these other jobs, you don't really need to apply for them. You can start applying for just e-commerce companies. You can even take it a step further, because one of the biggest, this is just an example, one of the biggest e-commerce niches is like pets. I don't know why, don't ask me, but if you look at, go do a Google search for the biggest e-commerce sort of niches, like pets is going to be there. Now, if you position yourself as a digital marketing expert for e-commerce pet sites, that is very, very specific and very, very niche, both for you as a job seeker and for the employer. It's probably going to be hard for the employer to find that type of specific person. So when you set yourself apart, they'll say, oh, this is exactly what I'm looking for, and gravitate towards you, right? This specifically not only just reduces competition, but it also increases the likelihood for your resume just resonating with the right person and the right recruiters and the right hiring managers. So thereby, this is going to just increase your chances for landing a remote job. So you got to resonate with people. And one of the best ways to do that is niche down, niche down. Another benefit to niching down, and I'll show you this right now. Niche job boards. So once you've niched down, you can use niche job boards. And I'll show you some. I'll show you some really, really quick, right? Let me see. Let me just pull up. Let me share my screen again. Give me 2 seconds. Bam. I want to show you a couple of niche job boards. And again, I'll try and give a lot of other examples that aren't so engineering related, but like I got to just speak to my domain. But this applies for anything. Traveling nurses, whatever niche you're in, there are niche job boards for them. So this is a niche job board. This is 𝐏2i.co, right? This is a niche job board that helps vet professionals with a single skill, or like that are well versed in a single skill, which is they call it React. It's like a front end technology. So just React developers. So you have this umbrella of software engineers, software developers, and there's just one skill, And there's a whole job board, this job board I'm showing you right now, that's devoted to finding people and helping placing people with these skills. And they hire all over the world. This is a work from anywhere job board. So if you're in software engineering, maybe you have some React skills, check this job board out, right? I want to show you another one. It's not engineering related. I know you guys are probably sick of the engineering examples, but hey. It's another site called SEO Jobs. So for SEO analyst and SEO specialist, this is a job board for people in that, in that field, right? So people with SEO skills, you got head of SEO, mid-level SEO specialist. All of these are remote. All these are remote, right? Because these are specialized skills, and a lot of times it's hard for employers to find to find these people in their locale, even their tri-state area. A lot of times it's hard, so they've got to seek elsewhere, right? And these are all posted today. You're seeing this is 26. They've got some featured posts. I think they might be from, but they're all within the last week. But you can see they're all pretty much in the last week. You can see if you're an SEO analyst, they have pages and pages and pages of job results or a job post, right? Okay, this kind of goes back a little far, but you can see that these type of things will help you. When you niche down, you can now start using these job boards. I'm going to show you another one. Which is digitalmarketingjobs.com. Again, the same thing. Posted 9 hours ago, 2 days ago. These are the featured ones. So employers actually pay to, put their resume higher at the top. But these are the other latest jobs. You've got a bunch of them posted today. These are all posted today. 5 hours, 7, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 hours ago. These are all posted within the last day. These are digital marketing jobs for digital marketing professionals. So if you know you're a digital marketing professional and you're looking for a remote job, figure out what in digital marketing you can speak to, what your skills are, and use a niche job board for your skills. So this is a huge cheat code. This is a huge cheat code, because instead of using these sites like LinkedIn, Indeed, and all the other sites, that are bombarded with applications, people don't even know these exist. A lot of people don't even know like a lot of these platforms exist. So when you niche down, you can say, hey, okay, I'm this type of digital marketing person. I'm this type of sales person. So let me find job boards that speak to that. So when you niche down, you can use niche job boards, and it's very vitally important that you do. All right, so I do want to take some questions before I move on. Let me see if I have any. Okay, let me see. Thanks to Sewer Rat for that super chat, man. I appreciate you, man. You've been rocking with me since day one. Let me see if I have any others. Let me see what else people are saying. But shout out to Sewer Rat. Appreciate that. Let me give him a round of applause real quick. Any questions before I move on? Anybody got anything that's on their mind? I think I might have seen some. All right. Let me put this up here. Because this is a good question from Ozzy. He probably asked it like good 15 minutes ago. He said, is AI a threat to entry-level coding positions? I would say kind of. Because AI is just a tool, right? And it's a tool that allows you to find answers and do things a lot quicker. So instead of employing another developer or another engineer on a junior level, people might want to employ someone on a mid or senior level that knows how to use these tools and leverage these tools to work and be more productive. So I'd say it is. But the reason why I think it's not so much, right? Because we're a long way from actually having developers fully replaced by AI. Like we're at least probably a decade or more out from that, because you still need people to write these programs, right? And account for like some of these like nuance and edge cases. And you got to think like how employers think. They do not want to get that senior engineer that's going to be like 200K salary, 300, 400K salary. There's people making that, a lot of people, especially really skilled people. What they would do, though, is they get enough engineers to anchor the team and probably hire one or two max junior engineer entry level so that they can train them up. Because think about it, you're not going to, at a job, get a 20% raise in a year. When you get a promotion, you're not. It's just not going to really happen. Maybe 5, at most 10, if they're really generous. But it's usually like 5-ish, 10-ish max, right? So you got to think in terms of how the business is going to think. So even though, yes, it's somewhat of a threat to entry-level positions, but still, employers like to build up entry-level people so they build them up to a senior level so that they don't have to pay the senior level price eventually. So they'll invest in you. The one thing I'll say is at the entry level, you got to be a little bit more spectacular now, right? Especially because these tools help you too at the entry level. So it can help you gain more context and learn quicker and ask fewer questions. So if I see a junior level developer who knows how to find answers and is reliable and has those communication skills and softer skills, then yeah, I'm more likely to employ them. So AI is a little bit of a threat, but it's only a threat if you're not using it. So what I'll say to that. Do I have any other questions? What's good? What's good? Racket Club Travels. What's going on? Let me see. Before I move on. What? Okay. All right. I guess I can move on to the next section. Let me go back to what are we going to talk about? Okay. So we're going to talk about, because I talked about ATS software. So we're going to talk about how to actually beat this ATS software. How do you beat it? I'm talking about this ATS software for a little bit, right? So what is it, first of all? So ATS software, those are applicant tracking softwares, and basically they're software tools that help recruiters and companies sort of filter out applicants based on the criteria that they're looking for, long story short. So one of the things that you could do is use something called long tail keywords. This is a SEO concept. So I know a lot of candidates, they know how to include keywords for the job description. So there's keywords that they use from a particular job description. Let me stop the screen share. So a lot of candidates, they go to a job description and they see the keywords and they use that in their application. They use that in their resume, right? But long tail keywords are phrases that are very specific to the job that you're applying for. They can further enhance your resume's relevance score for these ATS software. For instance, instead of just saying or including SEO, you can say SEO for content writing, or SEO for content writing or healthcare marketing, right? And long tail keywords in and of themselves, right? Long tail keywords are just specific phrases that usually contain 3 or more words and are highly targeted, to what people are searching for on the internet. And in this case, job boards or ATS software. They're more precise than general single word terms and keywords, and are often indicated that there's, they often indicate that the searcher is closer to making a decision, or like a purchase, or like, a hiring decision, right? So, for example, right, just, in general terms, instead of searching, and I think I just gave you, some concrete or good examples. Let's just give a general example that has nothing to do with like jobs, right? So if you're searching for shoes, instead of searching for shoes, you can search a long tail keyword search would be women's black running shoes size 10. That is a very specific search term that still uses shoes, but it uses another, set of keywords, usually like 3 or more, like I said, that gives you a more precise result, right? And these keywords are less competitive and can drive more qualified traffic, to your website, or, to, if it's your resume, to your resume, and help you beat these ATS softwares. Because again, a lot of employers even don't listen to these guys. They're delulu. What's that new term that the youth are using? Delulu. Most employers, and I've seen this, like just working for a long time, I've had to actually interview people before, and although I didn't write the job descriptions, I've looked at them before, and I'm like, dude, we're never gonna find this. Like, you are hedging your bets on something that's never gonna happen, right? A lot of them are delulu. They're never going to find the type of people that they're looking for. Like, if it's just going off the resume, off the job description. If they're trying to find that exact person, it's not gonna happen, right? But they're looking for maybe 2-3 specific things on their resume, or in general, that can help the team, because you can't be good at everything. That's like impossible. But maybe 2 or 3 skills you could be really good at, right? And it's those things. If you use long tail keywords and they just happen to see that on your resume or on your application, it's like, oh, I want to talk to him. Oh, I want to talk to her. So definitely look it up. Again, I try to explain as much as I can, but it's really outside the scope of this live stream. It's for you to just kind of research later on. Just research how to use long tail keywords in your resume. This is the next topic I'm going to talk about. Is very, very good. Let's see if I have any questions or comments. Okay. Let's talk about leveraging your network. This is huge. This is huge. This is probably one of the most important topics I'm going to talk about tonight. If you're still in college, you want to do as much as you can to build your network. Internships, fellowships, job fairs, career fairs, conferences, right? I know like all these conferences might be expensive for you. Like, $200 for a conference when I was in college is like expensive. But I wish I went to more, because it's an investment in your future. In one weekend, you can meet 50, 60, 70, 100 people, right? You won't really get to connect with all of them, but you can exchange contact numbers, follow people on social media, LinkedIn, and you're expanding your network. You can have more fluid and in-depth conversations with them later. It's all about just meeting them first, and speaking to them and seeing what their needs may be. Sometimes they might be employers. Sometimes they might be other job seekers like yourself that might know things that you don't know, or be connected in ways that you're not. So yeah, if you're still in college, especially today, please, by all means, do everything you can to do a lot of those things that I just mentioned, right? Now, if you're not in college, if you're a lot of people, because we have gone through the great switch, which like 54% of people, I think the number is either between 51 or 54% of people in like 2022, like these are people in the job market. 50% of people, more than 50% of people in the job market made a career switch, right? So you're going into a new industry, you're going into a new career field, and you don't have many or any people in that industry, right? You want to do, and I did a lot of this in the beginning of my career, and a lot of it was just because I wanted to kind of know about technology, know about like different programming languages and things. And I had this like, just yearning to like, oh, I want to contribute to open source, and I want to do this, I want to do that. And like, I was just really focused on like doing cool stuff like that sounded cool because, it was just like cool to me. But I'm glad I did it because I got to grow my network. I went to tech conferences for specific technologies. And a lot of times, right, when I was working at some jobs, they would pay for it. I would say, hey, I want to go to this conference. They'll pay for it. They're like, all right. And they were literally paying for me to grow my network, paying for me to grow my skills, paying for me to understand more about the technology I was using at work every day. And a lot of times I met people at those tech conferences that like said, hey, that tried to poach me, or like said, hey, if you're looking for a job, here, call me, just reach out to me. People that I can still reach out to today, like I met like 6, 7 years ago, 8 years ago, right? Another popular one, I went to Afrotech, met a lot of people there. I met a lot of recruiters, Black recruiters that I met, that I still talk to, first name basis. I've gotten drinks with them. We hung out. We've done a lot of stuff. Like, again, it's all about relationships. I met and I went there one time. It was the first one. I think it was in 2017, the first Afrotech, I think, the first or second. 2017, I remember, I was in San Francisco. I met like 7 or 8 recruiters, Black recruiters, Twitter, Google, this, that. I went to just connect with other Black people that were in tech. And, it was cool because I actually grew my network quite a bit from that one conference. There's people that go every single year. I've only been once, and I was able to meet this pool of like people that were able to help me. Like, I've gotten interviews from people that I met at that conference without applying for a job. I've gone to other conferences like Web Summit. Web Summit is where you're going to actually meet companies, like startup companies that have like all these seed rounds of funding, 10, 15 million, 20 million round, right? A lot of them have maybe a few million, right? I actually met, it's funny, I actually met up with a subscriber. He has gotten a lot of funding from like the Solana blockchain, I think it is. He actually is here in Brazil. He's trying to make a payment system for foreigners in Brazil. It's a startup. He's gotten a lot of funding, right? And he was looking for a developer. I wasn't that person, right? I, didn't have the skills he needed, right? It was a very specific niche set of skills that he needed for his company. But if I was, it's like, I met him. I actually met him because he, I actually ran into one of my subscribers. I'm going to, hang out with him. I think he's in the chat here. Shout out to you. But I've been running into just people that I've met in different places and met at different conferences, not places, just conferences, or I've met through just YouTube, but YouTube is just one medium I'm using, right? I don't really use it to get jobs or anything like that, but it's just like an example. I'm putting it out there. I just want to talk about this one guy I met. He was at, I met him through, he hit me up through Instagram, and he has a startup and he's looking for a developer, and he goes to Web Summit. He goes to that tech conference every year, to try and promote his startup. And sometimes he might need a developer, right? So, and where is he going to meet them? He's going to meet them at these tech conferences. So go to tech conferences, go to conferences, whatever niche you're in, there's a conference for it. There's a conference for accountants. There's a conference for SEO analysts. There's a conference for every type of niche that you could ever think of. There's a conference for it. Let me see this. Programming languages related to crypto might be a way to go. Yes, they are a way to go because a lot of developers don't really like learn those programming languages. I forget. I think it was like Solidity. Like I barely even know them, right? And that makes them very niche. Again, niching down. You'll get a lot less jobs that you can apply for, but that's also a good thing. That can be a strength because you've niched down, and now that you've niched down, you've just basically like just narrowed down this narrow set of jobs that you can apply for, and you can make your applications a little bit more heartfelt, authentic, and just put more time into them. And you can even reach out to people directly, reach out to employers directly and explain your skills and your other things that you have, right? So yeah, definitely go to conferences, big, huge, key. You'll meet like 60, 70 people in a weekend in your industry, probably looking to hire. So definitely go to conference, go to meetups in your area. There should be no reason that if you live in like a city like LA, New York, Chicago, with millions and millions and millions and millions of people, you shouldn't, and you're not employed and you're trying to look in a specific field, you should be going to at least 2 meetups a month. In those meetups, you might meet 5 to 10 people in that one meetup. So when you start to meet these people, you start to talk to them, tell them your story, see what they're doing with their lives, or see what they're doing with their companies. A lot of companies go to meetups to try and employ people. So go to meetups. Search on Eventbrite. Search for events that are related to your niche. Meetups, conferences. Join Facebook groups in your locale, right? So if you're in Houston, digital marketers in Houston, digital marketers in Texas, digital marketers in LA, digital marketers in Seattle, digital marketers in Washington, D.C. Use your locale, use the people in your locale that are doing things and are going to these, become a regular at these meetups. A lot of them are free. Almost all of them are free, right? So yeah, another like little known way to get jobs, but I've seen so many people who are unemployed who got jobs like this. They were unemployed, and this is one method that is slept on, right? As you're learning and growing in your career field or that your new chosen field, start to grow an audience and maybe become some sort of thought leader. Now, that's not going to happen overnight. Definitely not, right? It's not going to happen overnight. But as you start to blog or vlog, you can use sites like Medium, start writing articles, and you've got all these tools right now. Like you've got ChatGPT, Copywriter, you've got Quillbot, like I just showed you. You can start to research and use a combination of AI to help you write articles. And you can write articles on LinkedIn. There's people who've gotten jobs because they've written articles on LinkedIn without even applying for jobs. Write articles. Make YouTube posts in your niche. Write blogs on Medium. Start building projects. Start contributing to open source if you're in tech. Get 1% better every day. Start to build a sort of community or audience through the articles you write. People still read articles online. You'd be surprised. A lot of people still read articles online, right? A lot of people have. I've heard so many stories. I've known people personally who've gotten jobs in tech, in this, in that, because they built an audience. And it's crazy because when you do and you have this audience, people will start coming to you. They will start coming to you because now you are somewhat of an expert because you've researched. Because to write these articles, to make these videos, to contribute to open source, you have to do a lot of research and you have to refine your skills and you have to be better every day at what you do so that you can put that out into the world. You can put these projects or these findings that you've written or you found and you write them in articles and you sum them up in blog posts and whatnot. And people see that and they say, this guy Alex, I want to hire him, or I want to talk to him. I want to pick his brain, see what he knows. And they might talk to you and say, hey, we've got a role here at this company. Come apply for it. Think it'd be a good fit. So definitely, one of the best things you can do is try and to start building an audience, whether it be on Medium, YouTube, or whatever. This is definitely a key thing that you can do. That's very slept on. It's very slept on. So let me go to the next point. The next point is apply internationally. Apply outside the US, right? A lot of employers are forcing people to come back into the office. And what that is doing is making job seekers and employers outside the US want to come and employ US talent. So a lot of people are seeking out, companies that are hiring US talent or letting you work from anywhere. And I made a video about work from anywhere job boards or remote job boards, right? So I'm gonna just give you a list of companies that have been hiring as of recent, international companies. So I'm gonna just put this on the screen here. Let me just make this a little bit bigger. Where is this thing at? Where's font size? Yeah, let me share my screen really quick. Okay, close that. So here's a list of companies that are hiring US talent. So got a bunch of them. Let me bolden this. So we got Fluent U. So write this down. If you're looking for a remote work, they've got a bunch of roles open. Got Fluent U, Static Media, Kraken, Chainlink Labs, Viva. Viva has a lot of roles open, a big company. Invisible Technologies, Wikimedia Foundation, Oyster HR, Canonical. There's a bunch of companies like this that are hiring American talent, Canadian talent, but mostly American talent. They're hiring foreign talent because think about it. In certain industries, all the best talent is in the United States, right? So it's not much of a compromise for them to get the best talent and just let them work from there and, take care of the taxes or whatever they need to take care of. It's, it's a benefit to them because they care about the quality of the work. And if all the quality applicants are in the United States, why not just hire in the United States anyway? That's their like sort of, thought process. Let's just hire where the best talent is anyway. We've already a lot of these companies, they switched to remote after COVID. So it's whatever, like we're already working remote. Let's just hire Americans, right? So definitely check out international companies. And I think there's a bunch of job boards and a bunch of companies that I've found that are hiring internationally. So I think I want to make a follow-up video to that video that I made, right? The next thing is exploring emerging career fields. So because of AI, because of the advancements in technology and the internet and just the world in general, there's going to be new career fields. And I'll show you one. Let me just actually share my screen again. Let me just bring up my LinkedIn. Should have not. All right, so this is LinkedIn. I'm on LinkedIn here. What I wanted to show you is, let me just reduce this. What I wanted to show you is prompt engineer. This is something that did not exist 3 years ago, right? This type of role did not exist 4 years ago. In 2020, 2021, this role did not exist. And I want to show you what I'm seeing here, right? There's prompt engineer. Trying to see what there's entry level. They have entry level prompt engineers, right? They don't really have that many applicants. Because I mean, I just showed you in a job post with like 1,300 applicants. This has been up for a month. They've had only just over 100. Not a lot of people are going into a lot of these niche roles. I think Ozzy said it. He's like, oh, explore like blockchain and crypto programming languages. He's really right. He's right, because not a lot of people explore those options. So there's less talent for people to choose from. Means that there's less people to compete with. So if you stand out, you stand out, and it's easier for you to get a job if you become quality and you stand out. Look at this company, Scale AI. Is that the one I'm just run through these roles? I'm looking for prompt engineer with Gen AI. Got 2 applicants. Usually these type of roles are swarming with applicants after a day, right? It's only 2 applicants here. It's on site. Let me see if I can see anything remote. AI prompt engineer remote. So yeah, you can see they don't really have the salary here, but this is a remote job. It's fully remote, full time. They've only got just over 100 applicants, right? And it's posted a month ago. So really, because if I go type software engineer right here, like a lot of people want to be a software engineer now. So there's probably going to be 1,000 applicants, even for senior roles. So really, if you want to increase your chances significantly of getting a remote job, then you might want to explore career fields that are emerging, right? Let me just try and see if I can see another prompt engineer, AI prompt engineer remote. Just over 100 applicants, 3 days, entry level. Not a lot of people are gravitating towards these fields. Research prompt engineer. This is remote. Look at this. Look at this. Let me look at this. Hold up, hold up, hold up, hold up. Let me put the sound effects on here. Hold up, hold up. Where's that? Where's that? Hold up, hold up, hold up. Do you guys see the salary range here? Let me, and like I said, this is something very easy you can stand out in, because you know this didn't exist 4 years ago. I want to make this a little bit bigger. Do you guys see the salary range? It's starting at $280,000 to $405,000 a year, and it's fully remote. It's fully remote. A research prompt engineer. Let me just back up really quick. And look, you would think like 1,000+ people applied for this, just over 100 applicants. You guys really need to look into those roles that are really niche, that are coming out because of AI, because I guarantee you a lot of this does not like involve any like super programming type stuff, right? Let's just read the description. I might be wrong. What is it saying? Develop new creative and original prompting strategies for a wide range of research tasks relevant to our fine-tuning efforts, yada, yada, yada. I'm trying to see what skills they're looking at. So it says advanced degree in computer science, mathematics, statistics, physics, or any technical field, features experience in machine learning or natural language processing, experience with large-scale model training and evaluation. So, I mean, these are all things, number one, you can teach yourself, right? All natural language processing, machine learning, a lot of these things. And they say evidence of programming experience, right? They don't really say that you have to have an X amount of years. Why? Because they know that this is a very niche type of role and they can't be too demanding or they're never going to find it. Already, this is looking unicornish, even with just basic, you know, descriptions, right? A basic description that's very vague, that doesn't mention any specific skills, right? Okay, they do mention Python, right? And experience with data structures. Again, these are all things you can learn for free. They don't mention that you have to have some, I mean, they say an advanced degree, but I mean, there's so many that they mention. They mention like math, statistics, physics, or a related technical field. It could be economics, right? So they're not really too bent on you having a specific degree. You just need some programming experience, some, machine learning, natural language processing. Trust me, you can learn all of this in 6 months. You can learn and be at least mid-level in 6 months if you know what you're doing, you know what to study, and you know the order in which to study it in. Look at that salary range. It's 200 and what, 205, 280? It starts at 280, right? Just over 100 applicants. Let me see some of the comments because a bunch of comments just came in here. We're saying, yes, exactly. AI will create jobs. So yeah, they're going to create, like, think about it like this, right? Because this is a great comment. 30 years ago, 40 years ago, did an SEO analyst exist? Did a digital marketing specialist exist? Did a social media strategist exist, right? Did a virtual assistant, online virtual assistant exist? So the internet created dozens of these jobs. And we're at a new frontier, like the internet. AI is like a new frontier. There's going to be so many jobs created by AI, like new roles created by AI. It's going to make a lot of things obsolete, but it's also going to create a lot of jobs. So yes, that's a very great comment. Yes, as he said, sheesh. Oh, I think I even have that. Do I have that? I don't have that. I think I got thought I had sheesh in there, but I don't got that. But yeah, you got a lot of these AI prompt engineering jobs that are looking for people that can't find. Look, what are you gonna do? You can comb through 100 applicants in a weekend, 120, 130 applicants in the weekend, right? And it's been up for a week. They're struggling to find these qualified people, right? This one has been up for 5 hours and gotten only 35. That's not too bad. Let me see what else they got. KPMG. That's a huge company. That's one of the big 4 accounting firms. 1 month. Look at this. An associate director, generative AI prompt. So it looks like they probably want you to have some sort of experience, but it's 1 month and you've got 6 applicants. Let me see if I can find something a little bit more. 5 applicants. So look, all of these, this is mid to senior level. So you don't even have to be like super deep in your career. Mid to senior level. It's got 6 applicants and it's been up for a month ago. Let me see if they've got any other AI prompt engineers. Research prompt engineer. Okay. I think this is the same one I just looked at. So a week ago, they got 76 applications and they've been up for a week. It's on site though, but still, let's just look. They require a little bit of programming, but again, a lot of this stuff you can learn on your own. Only 100 applicants. Usually after 6 days nowadays, they've got like 300, 400 applications. But this is a pretty decent salary, 84 to 145K, and it's fully remote. I'm not gonna sit here and go through all of this with you. I just kind of wanted to show you guys some of the type of jobs. There's just other job titles too. There's a bunch of others that are popping up because of AI, like a business intelligence developer. They've got AI research scientists. They've got natural language processing engineers. They've got blockchain developers. They've got AI sales analysts or sales. Like they've got AI sales people, right? So a lot of job roles and job sort of titles are going to pop up because of this new development in AI, and you're at the forefront of it. You watching this live stream are at the forefront of all of this, right? You're not like 20 years in. This is like just now. So if you do your research and find out what type of careers are popping up because of AI, right? And doesn't necessarily have to be technical. It could be something like I said, there's like people who are selling AI technologies. So they're selling it to other companies. So like a B2B type of situation. And they're in there, and their role, like a sales type of role, is to convey the value of this AI product to another company so they can buy it. So you can be like an AI salesman or someone who sells AI technologies, right? There's still people, we still need salesmen. And I'm not going to talk to a machine. It's like someone wants to sell me something. I'm sorry. So that's something that is going to be needed in the future. And you're at the forefront of it. So if you're looking for a remote job and you don't have a lot of experience, I suggest looking into roles that are brand new, that are emerging because of AI. All right. So we're coming up on like 2 hours. That's pretty much all I have for this live stream. Like I said, I wanted to keep it brief. I didn't want to make this one of those 4-hour streams. And I wanted to be concise as well as value packed. Like I wanted to pack enough value in this live stream for you guys. I think I might chop it up a little bit, because again, this is still 2 hours. So let me see. Can you learn? All right. Are jobs available for felons? Yes, there are a lot of, I would suggest, right, for you, Anthony, looking into agencies that help felons develop skills, because there's a lot of them. I just can't think of them off the top of my head. But there's a lot that help, people that are trying to transition back into the workforce after being incarcerated. So definitely look into these agencies that help you skill build and that work with other companies that hire, felons and are trying to reduce recidivism. So I would suggest looking into that. I know Ben and Jerry's, they hire a lot, especially in their corporate offices, they hire ex-felons. So, there's so what is BA saying? Felons might want to go to 1099 or independent contractor route. Yep, that's definitely a better, because you're working as a company. So you're working as an employee under the company. So they're not checking their background check, or they're, not really necessarily, the name that's on paper is your company name. So your name, every company is an entity and has all the rights of like a human. So that's actually very, very good game. Thanks, BA, for that comment. Like I said, Anthony, just look into agencies that help you sort of transition back into the workforce, or go the 1099 route like BA just said. It's been, let's say, Trey, it's been very hard finding remote work. Yeah, it's been hard for everybody. It's been hard. It has been hard. I mean, because the economy has shrunk a little bit. Inflation is up. Employers' interest rates are high, and there's not a lot of banks lending right now. Employers are really, really cautious of who they hire right now. Before, they were just like hiring like crazy, but it's just like that's just the nature of everything. But definitely using a lot of the tips I outlined in this live stream, you can definitely get remote work, right? Use a lot of my content, because I try and help remote workers out a lot. I have, job board information, and I want to make an updated video because it's like 20 more job boards that I found. So I want to make an updated video of a lot of the content that I've had up. But again, I just wanted to just enumerate some of the things that I have learned over my career. And there's a lot of other stuff. I might make a part 2 of this. but it's a lot of other stuff that I've learned about finding remote jobs that I want to include in the next live stream. I just wanted to sort of introduce some of the, these first set of concepts that I use. But if I were to say the most important things that you should focus on, definitely grow your network. Like, I have friends now, right, who are heads of engineering or lead developers or this and that. I had a friend that came from my wedding, right? He was just like, yo, we need X and Y, Z skill at my job, right? So if you ever need a job, just holler at me, right? The interview would just be a formality. I would be interviewing with him. So it's grow your network. And we met at a former job that we worked at together. Most important thing, grow your network. Explore new career fields because you're going to be the first one there. And you can use a combination of the things that I'm telling you. So you can explore a new career path. And then you remember what I said about being a thought leader or developing an audience. So like you could be a prompt engineer and then develop an audience in prompt engineering. And then you're a thought leader in prompt engineering. This shit came out 2 years ago. When did ChatGPT came out? I think it came out like a lot of this AI technology started to come out at the end of 2022. We're in the middle of 2024. Not even in the middle yet. We're still in like Q1, I think, right? So you're still at the very, very beginning. So you can combine a lot of these things. You can explore a new career field and build an audience in that. Start to write articles, start to make vlogs and blog posts, and maybe start to go to those conferences that are emerging around this career field. So explore your new career fields, these new career fields. Definitely grow your network. Niche down. Become something very, very specific. Don't be intimidated by a lot of what these employers post on the internet with their job posts. They're looking for the unicorn that they'll never find. That's every one of them. They just want to, the more the merrier, I guess, for them. They say, hey, let me just throw spaghetti at the wall, see what sticks, right? But niche down because sometimes they need 2 or 3 things. And if you can do those 2 or 3 things, then, and you can find a way to stand out, then they'll probably give you a shot or even hire you, right? And then also use the search strings and the alerts. And I would say niche down first so you know how to search. Niche down, use the niche job boards. And even on these job boards or these employer job posting sort of third-party sites that I listed, and I'll bring some of them up again. Let me see, where is that? So let me make this larger for a quick second. Hope you guys can see that. So like Greenhouse, Lever, Ashby, Smart Recruiters, Workable. I still don't know how to pronounce this. I think it's eSIMS, JobVite, Talio, Workday. You can, again, go look up Google Dorking. Go look up Boolean search strings and learn. This is too much to teach for me in one live screen. We'll be here for like a few hours more, right? You can replace this. I'm gonna go copy this, replace this with Greenhouse. Is it greenhouse.io? I think it's greenhouse.io, right? Greenhouse job boards. Let me just think it's greenhouse.io. Yes, boards.greenhouse.io, right? Check that out. See what people are posting. Look at that. Greenhouse. You'll see all the employers posting on Greenhouse. So definitely use these search strings. They will help you out a lot. And then sign up for alerts so that you can be notified whenever these jobs that match your criteria pop up, right? So definitely use the search strings. Well, first, like, I'm going to put this in order. Niche down. Make sure you niche down. right? And use niche job boards. Then, use these search strings and sign up for alerts and explore new career fields, right? Explore new career fields because you're the first one there. And if you can, develop a system for getting these alerts and also just grow some sort of audience or start to write blog posts that makes you seem like a thought leader in a new space, you'll stand out. We get to a couple more of these, then I have to get out of here. 𝐿 yes, thank you. Thank you for watching. Thank you for, kicking it here with me for like 2 hours. Appreciate you guys. Again, VA workforce development and local city help felons. Yep, there's a lot of these agencies that help you, transition back into the workforce. So thanks for that. Yes, to increase the chances of remote work, you might need to switch fields. Data is a good one. You can get a data certificate from WQU for free. Thanks for that info, BA. You're always providing some additional game for me here in these live streams. Mark Anthony, yes, cybersecurity is underrated. It is very underrated. And there's so many different sort of paths to it you can take. You can get like Cisco certifications. You can get Azure certification, which is Microsoft Azure. You can get Google Cloud certifications. You can get AWS. AWS has like an 80% market share in the cloud space. So if you're going to get a cloud certification, definitely go towards think about AWS at least. I'm not saying that it's the end all be all, but it has like an 80% market share. That's how they make their money. Most of their money comes from AWS. It doesn't come from, they're losing money on the Amazon, storefront. So definitely look into cybersecurity and specific technologies within that. And again, niche down. So yeah, it's about like 12:15 at night. So I think I'm gonna call it a night. Thanks to everybody who, was rocking with me for these 2 hours. And I hope I was able to provide some sort of value for you. Let me stop my screen share. Let me hide these comments and expand. Yeah, so thanks for rocking with me. It's been 2 hours. I'm a little sweaty. Keep the AC off because it's going to be too much noise. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the live stream. I'm going to post it later. I'm going to chop up certain sections as well, so you have certain sections that you can just go to for certain information. Yeah, but thanks to everybody that's been with me from day one. Thank you to all my new subscribers. Thank you for everyone that just was patient. This was supposed to start at 8 p.m. Eastern. I had a couple of things to do and started an hour later. I'd like to be cautious of people's time, but yes, I want to make these live streams better and better and better each time I do them. So I really appreciate you guys for joining me, and I hope you all have a good night.